And hello, hello. We are here for this week's episode of the Daily Deuce. I am not Gary Graves. I am Dante Webster, and I am joined by the usual suspect here.
Hey Dante, how you doing, man? Thanks for being with us today. We got two right now out on sick leave. John Pitt is mending, getting much better each and every day, and Gary Graves just had some some surgery, and we wish both of them nothing but the best, and we hope to see them both back again real soon. Dante, it's always great to have you here with us, man. I enjoy the opportunity to banter back and forth with you. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL, the NFC East. We're going to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball and NCAA football. And then we'll wrap up tonight, man, because, tonight starts the NBA season with your hopeful world champion Los Angeles Lakers. So we'll come back to that last and let you share your feelings about that. But
Okay. I don't
first,
really have much right now. 82 games. I'm okay.
first and foremost, NFL, man. Eagles
hmm
pulled out a big win over the Minnesota Vikings. They they're starting to hit the stride again. They're starting to do things like they normally do, but it's a long season. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. The Giants completely blew a game against the Denver Broncos. The
hmm
Denver Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. Let me say that again. The Denver Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. What do you think about those two games, Dante? Tell me what you think.
For the Eagles game, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's back to business as usual. They weren't throwing the ball a lot last year. So I mean, you had these blips where that happened, but they were running the ball last year really effectively. The real trick is gonna be, can you get Saquon started anytime soon? But that's literally just like the one qualm that I have. Otherwise, their offense did look really good. They showed up, which is surprising. I mean, not surprising. It's a good time to do it because Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. So it was good to see that they showed up. It's good that you got both guys involved. So you're not going to hear any passive aggressive, not going to see anything passive aggressive from either of them posted. I mean, they're receivers. It's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you just need the ball. And this is a week where we're not going to have to question Jalen Hurts' ability because, to give him his credit, after this happened last year too, when they had a couple of those games where it was like, okay, are you going to throw the ball to your receivers any? AJ Brown seems to be pouting a lot. After they have a couple of those games, he will just put one up where it's like, oh, okay, yes, I can like throw them the ball. It's just, sometimes the game script just doesn't call for that, which is fine. It works out for them because they win. So the biggest thing is, as long as you have receivers that are okay with winning, that works. Doesn't work for everybody, but I can't take away from it because they're still what? Is it 5-2? They snapped
They're
the
they're 5-2. They're in first
two
place.
streak. Yeah, it's
Now, what do you think about that Giants game?
Giants game. Giants game is, the downside of, we all sit around and talk about why kicking shouldn't matter, but then it does when you miss two extra points and you lose by one. So kicking does matter. I mean, the Giants don't even have a bad defense. It's just, it's crazy how they blew that game, in all honesty. I, Honestly, I don't really have like I don't have anything to just like simplify that or make it normal. They really blew one that they needed to have. I mean, I can't even say this is like regular growing pains with a rookie quarterback. Blowing a 33-point lead is blowing a lead. I mean, you literally blowing that game in the fourth quarter is quite absurd. You literally had that one in the bag. But it does help to put things in perspective and let you know, okay, this is still a rookie quarterback. This is still a very young team. They're going to be working through things. Again, this isn't an excuse, but I mean, it's not always. Growth isn't linear. I've said that to you before. Growth isn't linear. So I mean, hey, this is going to be one of those. This is one of those hard weeks, and this will be one that you remember later on, where it's like we really should have got that one. And I mean, if you're Denver, you're just happy that you were able to escape with a win because you really shouldn't. I mean, the legend of Bo Nix continues, I guess, because up until the end of that game, it wasn't looking like there was much going on there. But they figured it out against all odds. And in all honesty, I mean, there's just really not much you could say about. I mean, there's everything and nothing you could say about the Giants at the same time for that one because it's just what do you say about a team that just literally, like you said, they gave that away? You blew that. You walked into the fourth quarter, double digit lead. You should have just been able to salt this game away, and you just literally just gave that what you gave the game back. You gave up one that you surely needed. And if this ends up being Dayball's last season in New York, this is definitely one of the games he's going to look back on and say, maybe if we had got that one, because it is pretty big that you lost that one. I mean, all credit to the Broncos though. We continue to talk about the Giants, but all credit to the Broncos because they stayed in it. They did what you usually tell like a team of 10-year-olds, hey, we're still in this. It's okay. And you're just saying that to them to make them feel good. The Giants actually, I mean, the Giants, the Broncos actually believed that, listened to it, and they came out on top. So while we're sitting around and, belittling the Giants, not belittling, but while we're talking about the Giants, we have to give the Broncos their credit. They did manage to come back and win that game. So all credit to them.
Hey, man, Sean Payton has found Drew Brees. He's got Bo Nix.
He doesn't have to lie to himself about that. So it's literally okay. If Bo Nix isn't bad, I mean, Bo Nix is fine. We don't have to call him Drew Brees. It's insulting to Drew. Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You don't have to do that just to make a guy feel good. What was the other one? He thought he found like the next Patrick Mahomes. He said all the right things when they drafted Bo Nix. And to his credit, Bo Nix took them to the playoffs last year, and they don't look horrible this year. So I give him his credit, but the lofty comparisons and praise. Bo Nix is probably the same age as Patrick Mahomes. How you gonna compare the two of them? Bo Nix was in college forever. I remember when Bo Nix started in the SEC. Go ahead, continue.
Hey, but it's looking like Denver and Kansas City's coming around again. I know we don't do the NFC West, AFC West, but it is, San Diego. Oh man, I slipped up.
LA, it's okay.
LA Chargers. Injuries are starting to catch up with them.
It's
I
that
think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Kansas City and the Broncos.
Yeah. And was that? No, that wasn't the first one at the beginning. That wasn't the first game of the year. First game of the year was the Chargers and the Chiefs in I think Brazil or something like that. Yeah, I think it's definitely. I agree with you. It's definitely going to come down to those two in the AFC West right now. Unless you want to, sit there and think that maybe my man Pete Carroll has something left in the tank. It can get Vegas going again. I don't think that's the case.
But what I'm thinking is Coach Kaki could line up in the backfield. He could be the running back.
Okay, you know what? For Los Angeles, you got me doing it. Yeah, you know what? He'd enjoy that because he's one of those football guys where it's just he loves it. So but he'd probably love to get tackled going straight up the middle. He would probably enjoy it. But I take nothing away from either of those teams. I think the AFC West is more interesting than it's been in a long time. Like you actually do think, okay, the Broncos may be able to do it this year. The Broncos were good last year, but the Chiefs had all that luck in close games. This year, they didn't have as much luck at the beginning of the year, but that offense is back.
The offense is back, and that defense never went anywhere.
Mm-hmm. No, man, early in the year they were sluggish, but I mean a lot of teams start off sluggish. They are, like you said, they rounded more. They rounded into shape recently though. They are like back to looking the way they did last year. So yeah,
Steve Spagnuolo is a very good defensive coordinator, man.
mm-hmm.
Very good, man. He does a great job. Man, let's skip back on over this NFC East. We left out one game. The Dallas Cowboys put a shellacking on the Washington Commanders. You being the number one Cowboys fan that I know, you have to feel pretty good about this.
That Okay, cool. Go ahead.
And look, Dante, you're one game out of first place. No, 1.5. Sorry,
I mean,
1.5.
This is the only benefit to not losing that game in Green Bay. The tie does work to your advantage when you have other teams out there. It does work for that one purpose. Otherwise, it's very disappointing they didn't win. That was
It shouldn't have been a tie because the clock operator should have had the game at 0-0-0. You don't stop a clock at 1 second.
You do if you need the theater. That was quite interesting of a choice there, but I digress. It was a good game on Sunday though. That was the second most complete game that they have put together this season. That game against the Jets, that's the number one game they put together because they beat up the Jets. But I mean, that's not really saying much. Jets don't look that good this year. But the game against Washington, it looked really good. I mean, you have your caveats. There was no Debo. There was no Terry McLaurin. Jaden Daniels gets hurt. go early in the third quarter. So there, you put your caveats in there, but even still, the Commanders are a run heavy team, and they weren't destroying us with the run early on. It was definitely one of them games you can see they were impacted by the players that they lost, and it just they there are questions that are going to have to be answered in Washington. They're going to have to figure some things out, basically. And I mean, it was a good win for Dallas. It was a very good win for Dallas. Don't try to get too high here because it's like I said, still a lot of football left to be played. And I do give Washington credit. We'll see what happens on Chris. I really want that
Do you see this as fool's gold
for who?
for Dallas?
No, I don't see it as fool's gold because it still took the effort. I mean, the only fool's gold thing would be, all right, Deron Bland's probably not getting another pick six this year. Marcus Mariota's not going to be out there just throwing lame duck interceptions. But I mean, outside of that, you did get you saw what you wanted to see. I mean, like I said before, there are still questions for Dallas in the secondary. You're still figuring things out with your linebackers. Your run defense is still putrid, but you didn't do bad against Washington. So I mean, I'm not going to say it's fool's gold because the biggest takeaway is your offense is fine. They are golden with CD back and George Pickens. Javonte Williams still looks great, and then you still have Ferguson as the pressure valve whenever things just break down for Dak. So your offense is fine. I think the biggest fool's gold thing that the Cowboys could end up doing, based on winning this, would be staying pat and just kind of accept and say, okay, I think we'll be okay. Just rely on the offense. No, they still need to go out and get a piece. They need to do something. There's still no pass rush. There needs to
I'm
be
going to ask you, can you score 40 points every week?
You can't. Probably not. I think they can get 30 though. But I mean, the biggest thing is you do need. There's no pass rush still, and they need to figure that out. I mean, look, in my opinion, your corners are still bad too, but you're not going to solve that. You're not going to solve that this year. That's an off-season thing. Now, the thing that they were saying today is Cowboys have started making inquiries to the Raiders about Max Crosby.
Well,
So
Max Crosby's hurt, right?
I have to look that up. Honestly, I just saw they were looking into that, but he's still playing. I think he's just out right now.
He got hurt the last game, if I'm not mistaken.
Look it up. I did not get a chance to see it, but they put in the inquiry, so he ain't out all year. They recently started.
No, he's not out all year, but he did. If I'm not mistaken, he got hurt in the last game.
I got to look it up. See, I wasn't even paying. Well, there was no reason to pay attention to the Raiders. What was there? I mean, knee and back problems.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I digress. I'll get back to what we are talking about. Yeah. So I think so. You don't sign Michael Parsons in the offseason. You need to do something to make up for that pass rush because you tried to cobble it together and it's just bits and pieces. Hasn't been the same. So that's fine. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if that'll be. I don't know if that'll actually happen. We'll see. Trade deadline in the NFL is pretty quiet usually. Nobody makes a lot of moves. It's not the NBA. So we'll see if they decide to do something. But you do have some extra picks now that you got. So you should make something out of those late first. See what they're gonna do. And they did also get back. They opened up 21-day window on Overshown linebacker, and then also the 21-day window on the rookie. Can't remember his last name. Chevelle, cornerback. So we'll see. But I mean, rookie cornerback, not really expecting anything out of that. Overshown, I mean, you still come back from ACL tear, so we'll see what you are. But they're trying. I mean, not trying. They're getting some stuff back, and then also your offensive line is going to get better because your starting center Cooper Beebe is also back. Well, I think they opened up his practice window too. So it's going to be some. I think there's room for optimism. We'll see what happens. Put it that way.
well, also we'll see what happens with the Commanders. Rough day for them at the office against the Cowboys. They lost Dorrance Armstrong, their
Mm-hmm.
best lineman, best pass rusher. He's out for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels went down with probably some type of hamstring injury. They're saying right now it's not significant, but we still don't know if he's going to be able to play Sunday. Uh, what's the guy's name? Krosky, Merritt, or Bill, whatever his name
Bill.
is,
Mm-hmm.
running back Bill. I don't think he ran really well on Sunday. I think part of it is he still had his mind stuck on him fumbling the last two games. They're depleted in the wide receiver area.
Mm-hmm.
They're without Terry McLaurin. They're without Noah Brown. and they're also without Debo Samuel. It's rough. And I've said this from the beginning of the season. I think teams are targeting, was it Lattimore? Was it Marshawn
Marshall
Lattimore?
Lattimore.
I think they are targeting him, which is allowed. I'm not saying it's
Oh
anything
yeah.
like cheating, but I just think teams are just,
Oh, they're
that's who
picking
they're,
on him. Yeah.
yeah, they're looking at him and they're just going straight at him. He's getting pass interference plays, or he's getting there a second too late on a play to make a stop. I just think
He
they got to
food.
look at some
He
things
gotta
on
figure that out.
defense. Um, well, all the way around, defense and offense. But the thing I've said, they could be better and have a worse record. They have a very hard schedule. And I
Hmm.
told people this before the season when they were talking about 15-2, 13-4. We already at 3-4. So I think what they need to do, they got Kansas City coming this week, and then they got Seattle and Detroit, or Detroit and Seattle. Somewhere or other with these next three games and include the Dallas game, they got to go 2-2. They got to come out of this 5-5. At worst 4-6. You know, you know, they just got to make some adjustments, Dante. And I'm not sure what those adjustments can be, if those adjustments can be made during the season. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I know it sounds like a broken record. Growth ain't linear. Look at what happened in Houston last year. It was supposed to be, oh, things are supposed to be even better now in year two with CJ Stroud. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a very bad example because Stroud has struggled in year three too. And I don't think that'll be, I'm not trying to say that Jaden Dales have long term struggles, but they still end up making the playoffs and the offense was the thing that held them back. So it's not over by any means. Biggest thing is, it's just ebbs and flows. I mean, it's how it goes. Everybody doesn't get the Mahomes treatment where you come right in and then you just got a rocket on your back and you're just killing everybody. Doesn't happen like that all the time. It's highs and lows there. And I mean, Washington surprised a lot of people last year, and then Washington kind of doubled down on an older roster by bringing back some of those guys. And it's going to be a building process. The best thing you can have is a quarterback on a rookie deal, which you still do, but it's still there's going to be some room for improvement. And I mean, you made the trade for Debo, but I mean, I'm pretty sure, and it's not just like Debo. Debo's actually played and he's been fine this year, but it's like it's not like the top tier wide receiver that you could have traded for. Like there are bigger, probably not. Again, it's not an insult. There are bigger and probably better names out there, and it's like, all right, you stuck with him, and Terry got his money, but hasn't been good. It's
I think with Debo, I think Debo is really good as a complimentary receiver right now in his career. Him having to be the number one when McLaurin and Noah Brown are out is rough. That's just not what he does, and he's had an injury as well too. So McLaurin played. I think he played one game, played
two.
against the Raiders, and
It's
had a
two or
quad
three.
injury.
Mm-hmm. Two or three. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's
Yeah, and I mean, but this is the hard part. When you give 30, it wasn't 30 bill. When you give all this money to a 30-year-old receiver, the injuries. Can you come back quick? For him, the answer is no. It's not to say every old receiver isn't worth the money, and it's not to say he's not worth it to somebody right now. It's just okay. We paid you, buddy. You were out all off season. What we doing now? Now you hurt. So they're question marks. I mean, but like I said, I do respect Washington. So I'm not gonna say they're done. They still a lot of football left. They could still figure a lot of this. I think went on a run at the end of last year. And I mean, the
mhm.
biggest thing is if you saw the first couple drives of the game, like I mean, outside of yeah, Dallas had control of most of it, but I mean, Jay Daniels still has a great deal of poise when he's out there, and even if he's trailing, like he knows how to fight and like bring the team back. Even last week when they were playing Chicago, he had to lead them back into the game. So he's always ready. It's just literally, you just going to it's a different game now. You're the hunted now. You're on
Yeah,
the other side of it.
it's like you said, it's growing pains,
Hmm.
and last year you went everywhere and you messed everybody's homecoming up because everybody wanted the Commanders as homecoming game. This year, everybody knows you're coming, man. Everybody's looking you right dead in your face. So we'll see. Speaking of looking right dead in the face, we're
Mm.
looking right dead in the face of the World Series of the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. I think something unique has happened here. you and I agree on who's going to win the World Series. Now, we don't agree on how many games it's going to be, but we agree on who's going to win.
Yep, Dodgers.
I got Dodgers. I say Dodgers in seven.
I say Dodgers in six, and I felt like I was being generous by even saying six because I don't. I haven't watched enough, but I mean, just literally the way they just steamroll the Brewers. I mean, I think they're clicking on all cylinders, and then Otani may have literally played the greatest game of baseball that we have ever seen in Game Four. Like the man went 3 for 3 with 3 home runs, and what he got the win too. And I think he like struck out 10 and like went 6 innings. Yeah, that's one of the greatest baseball games that we've ever seen on a professional level. That's stuff that you hear about in the little league team where there's one kid that's bigger than everybody else who's just okay. I'm just gonna be more physically dominant. Well, Otani's also more physically dominant, but he's playing with a bunch of other grown men. It's kind of absurd that he's doing this. Like, I mean, it's one thing that you have this in your lineup, but then the fact that this is also in your rotation. Like, he's one of your 5 pitchers too that you're going to start. Well, more than 5 at this point, but this is what you have. Like, that is quite crazy that you have all of that ready. And I mean, it's not a takeaway from the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays definitely did their thing. All credit to Vlad Guerrero. Max Scherzer gets to go to another World Series. The Blue Jays have a lot of pieces, but it's just I think it's
And
just
don't and also Bichette's coming back for the World
that's
Series.
what I was gonna say. They get Bichette back too. So I mean, they're getting guys back. You have your good players clicking on all cylinders at just the right time. I just I don't see how anybody beats the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers are just kind of the buzz saw right now. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really look like anybody's going to be able to just match them. But
I agree. I agree. The biggest thing for me, I like the Blue Jays, but you know what pushes me over the edge to go with the Dodgers, Dante.
they play indoors. Once you play in a dome, it's just not for you. Which is, everybody's got something different. I think they
Hey
fine,
man,
but hey, I know you don't respect that.
open the roof, open
Open,
the roof.
open the roof. Exactly. Okay. I mean, that I hear you. I hear you. It's been working for them pretty well not doing that, but I mean, I do feel bad for Seattle. That was good. That was a good chance that they had there. It just didn't work out for them. But I just don't see a world in which the Blue Jays are able to beat the Dodgers. I mean, I feel like that once the Dodgers like got the monkey off their back at the end of last year. I mean, they won the Bubble World Series, and I mean, I know I don't besmirch the Lakers bubble ring that they got because the Lakers had to play an 82 game season to get to that. The Bubble World Series was completely different. I think it was like what a 40 game season, something absurd. It was crazy.
Did the Dodgers win that?
The Dodgers won that 2020. Dodgers won the World Series.
Was that the one where Muncie they
Yes.
found out he had COVID
Yeah, he
and
ran back out. He ran back out there. Yeah, it's just like how they found out that who was it? Giannis's brother had COVID, but then he was back on the bench by like 2 games later inside the bubble. But we just that was 2021. Never mind. Sorry, excuse me. But either way, that was back when we were doing the very loose COVID screening and restrictions that we had. Basically, it was he won the World Series. Let him go celebrate with his COVID. But it was different times. It was a different time. But yeah, I
and
just don't.
and folks, we apologize. We're not laughing about the fact of COVID. We're just
The restrict
amused at
the
the
sports
situation.
restrictions, the sports restrictions that people put in place, where it's like, okay, we should really actually pay attention to this, and then what went into actual practice is just that's regular business. It's absurd sometimes. Yeah, not to belittle anything about anybody. I definitely don't want to seem like that. I agree with you.
Hey, but let me also say this about Otani. Keep in mind he's coming off Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, that just adds on to it, right? Hadn't even pitched in like a year and
Hey
change.
man, hey, how would he look in black and orange?
You'll never know. You aren't gonna pay him. I'm about to say you had to. You literally that's one. That's actually the one person who could literally come up with a blank check and just you give it to him. I mean, what, you gonna tell him no? If he wanted to come to the Orioles, that would be amazing. Number one,
Well, who wouldn't want to come to Camden Yards,
a
Dante?
lot a lot of guys clearly you all aren't paying them. What do you mean? Like the biggest thing, the reason the Dodgers are doing so well, they could just pay everybody. Well, Otani's contract is another thing in and of itself because that's like all deferred money. So I mean, whenever he gets his money, it'll be great. I don't really understand it that much myself, but that's all I get. But I mean, the Dodgers are still like the Dodgers just have so many guys. Like I mean, you still have Freeman, you still have Mookie Betts. I mean, those only three I'm thinking off the top of my head, but it's like
Teoscar Hernandez. You still got, I think Muncie's still on the team, right?
I don't think Muncie's on the team anymore. I think he just really
Yeah.
wanted to be there at the 4 years. I think he's gone now. But
You got
go
Clayton
back.
Kershaw.
Oh, it's Clayton Kershaw's last run. This is swan song. So you want to send Clayton Kershaw out with the ring, and
He's
then
going to come out of
what other
retirement for one
Japanese
reason.
pitchers? What other Japanese pitchers do they have? Don't they have another one?
Yamamoto.
That's what. Okay, that's what I was. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay, okay. I couldn't remember if it was him or Ryu, and Ryu was not Japanese. I think he's Korean. Yeah, wasn't he
And
one?
then they got Tyler Glass now,
Then they have Blake Snell.
Blake Snell.
We didn't even think of him first. They had Blake Snell. They just just over there. Blake Snell. That's their guy. I don't see how you beat that. That's just me. I don't. It's not again. The
And,
Blue Jays
and
are
Blake
good. Are pretty
Snell
good team. I
and
still see.
Blake Snell is looks like he's going to stay there with the Dodgers. He's not going to opt out of his contract. I'm sorry to hear that.
You had the chance. You didn't go for it. You got to pay to play. You could have made a trade. That's on you. You all had an opportunity at that one. I mean, hey man, sorry. It's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, I feel like 6 is generous. Honestly, I could see them getting this done in 5. I don't think they'll sweep them. Toronto has too much pride, but I could see 5. I can see a gentleman's sweep for sure.
You can see them beating You can see the Dodgers beating Toronto in 5 games.
Yeah.
No, no,
I mean,
no, Dante.
Toronto. I mean, look, man. Maybe that last series just got me, but they steamrolled the Brewers, man. That was the
They
when the Brewers were.
steamrolled them, but even though they don't play outdoors, I still respect the Blue Jays. They can play ball. They
I'm
need
not
to take
saying
the
they
roof
can't.
off the building, but they can still play ball.
Yeah, I'm not saying they can't, but I mean, the Dodgers took down the number one and the number two seed in the NL already. Like, I mean, yeah, they beat Philly and they beat and they beat Milwaukee. They can handle the
Yeah,
top
but
competition.
I'm gonna tell you, Dodgers beating Philadelphia and Milwaukee,
Hmm.
it just doesn't surprise me because
I mean, the Brewers apparently had their number all year though.
yeah, but then the playoffs is a whole different animal.
Yeah, I'm aware about it. I want to give the Brewers their credit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and I look at the Dodgers. Even though the Dodgers were like the third or fourth seed, I still thought they were the best team in the National League. I
Yeah,
still
they
thought
just had that slump that they ran for a little while, which messed up the record. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you.
And I think what hurts them, but they found a way around it, is relief pitching.
Mm.
I think they found a way around it and to limit how much relief pitching they will do. Like Blake Snell pitched 9 innings, which is unheard of today. Yamamoto pitched 8, I think. So, or vice versa.
Hmm.
Blake Snell did 8 and Yamamoto did 9. You know,
Hmm.
Glasgow did 6 the other day. So I think the Dodgers have found a way to get the most out of their pitching. But I still think it'll be 7-game series, man, because you look over Toronto. I mean, you got Shane Bieber over there throwing that pill. You got Vlad Guerrero. You got Bichette coming back. Kirk and catcher. They're tough, man.
Oh
They,
yeah, I'm
they,
not.
they are tough.
I do credit them. I'm not saying that it'll be like a blowout every game. I just, like I said, man, sometimes it's like when you first play a team and they finally reach that point where they're in that zone where it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I think this is where it's like, oh, we figured it out now. This is what we're about to do. Like it seems like they could just go on a run. Like that's what it feels like to me right now in terms of the Dodgers. I mean, look, I could be completely wrong. Blue Jays may go out here and shock us both, but I just feel like the Dodgers are in that state now where it's like, all right, we're gonna run over you all and we're gonna win. Like I said, once they got that actual World Series last year, they going now. Like that's it. Otani liked to
Well,
win. Otani, I,
well,
I feel bad for Mike Trout because he's still stuck in Anaheim.
well, that if he wants to come east, there's a place I know he can go to.
Why do you always want guys when they pass their prime? Mike Trout ain't been good in like 2 years. Why you want Mike Trout now? Why you want Mike Trout now? And you probably give up somebody really good to get Mike Trout now. That's the worst part about it. You probably say Adley Rushman for Mike Trout. Who says no? Should be you, but you probably won't even do it. You probably just like, yeah, let's get it, let's get him in here. Oh, okay. Mike Trout, I think Mike Trout has knee problems now.
Make him the DH.
That's yeah. You know what? You're right. Maybe I don't know.
He
Mike
can
Trout,
hit. He can hit.
Yeah, you're not. Again, you're not wrong. I swear Mike Trout been hurt the last 2 years, but like this ain't Mike Trout. That was never mind. I'm just gonna stop here. I'm not gonna keep. This isn't about Mike Trout. His team isn't in the playoffs,
This
unfortunately.
ain't about the Orioles. So we're going to go on and talk about another subject. We're going to move on to NCAA football. Man, this weekend, I'm going to tell you, Notre Dame got a big win. They beat USC. Even though they were ranked higher than USC, it was still a big win. It's still a quality win because they had those two losses at the beginning of the year against Texas A&M and Miami.
I mean,
And
USC
since
isn't bad this
Miami
year.
lost to
Wait,
Louisville, that loss does not look as good now. So Notre Dame, of course, has to run the table, Dante. If they even want to think about an NCAA playoff, they'll get a bowl bid, but to get back in that playoff, they got to go 10-2. Got to go 10-2. So we got that one. Indiana. Indiana has always been a basketball school. Now they're a football school and number 2 ranked in the country in football,
about to say you got to call
behind
them
Ohio
football
State.
power now. Football power. That's what they are right now.
Yes, they are. Well, football power. I mean, Signetti doing a wonderful job. They just signed into a longer term deal because they didn't want Penn State to come around there and try to get him away. So
Hmm.
they're doing well. Texas A&M still undefeated.
Still getting no respect.
Yeah, you're right. Undefeated. Mike Elko's doing a wonderful job with them. 7-0.
Tell me when they beat Bama.
Well, they don't have Bama on the schedule this year, but they do have Texas in Thanksgiving, and that can be a telling tale right there.
How
And,
telling is it? Because I don't think Texas is good.
well, yeah, it's true. Well, that's true too.
If you had told me this in like week one, maybe there would be a chance. But this version of Texas now, I don't know. It doesn't really hit the same when you say we beat Texas. Who didn't?
and guess who else lost this weekend, Dante?
I'm trying. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, LSU lost, right? Yeah,
LSU lost this
LSU lost.
weekend.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. LSU. Yeah, yeah. Boy, it's gonna be you and LSU duking it out for the last spot in the college playoff. Probably that's exactly what it's gonna be. And you're gonna be
And
so upset when
And
Brian
Notre
Kelly
Dame
gets it
will
because
get
his
it.
team's in the conference.
And say what?
You're gonna be so upset when Brian Kelly gets it because his school is in a conference.
I guess you're making an allusion to the fact Notre Dame is not in a conference. Notre Dame
I'm
is,
sorry, you're loosely affiliated with the ACC.
we're not loosely affiliated. We are a reputable independent who is as an academic institution furthering the education of student athletes across the South Bend campus.
I told you multiple times if you had more C players, you'd be better. Too many smart kids overthinking everything. You all want to make it about the grades. That's beautiful. Right up there with Georgia Tech. You see Georgia Tech, it took them years to finally hit this stride.
I'm telling you, man, have you seen Georgia Tech play this year?
I have not actually watched them play, but I've heard good things. I think I've only seen like bits and pieces, and I think the biggest thing that I'm taking away from this is Georgia Tech actually has a quarterback that can throw this year. Changes the whole game apparently when you're not playing the wing tee. Who knew?
They are tough. Well, it's still a variation of the wing tee, still a variation.
But the
But
quarterback's decent quarterback. He's better. He can actually throw. Like you look at their. I'll put it like this. When I look at their stats and I look at the passing yards, it's actually like triple digits rather than 50.
it's going to be two telltales for them. One, if they continue like they're going to do, playing in the ACC championship. But before that, the last game of the year is against Georgia.
Mm.
So we'll see how they go. I'm rooting for the Rambling Wreck, man. Rooting for them. I remember the last time they won a national championship was in the 80s with Bobby Ross. Bobby Ross used to coach your alma mater, Maryland.
Maryland, good old Maryland, who had a shot at
Matter
the
of fact, he was
conference,
coaching Maryland when they had the uniforms they're wearing now.
and that's full circle. When do you think that Maryland has a shot at like apologizing and maybe getting James Franklin? You think they consider that? I had to reread that he was the coach in waiting, and then they just basically he didn't get that job. Oops. You know,
Yeah, he was on the staff when Fridge was coaching.
yeah. I mean, I think they should try that one personally, but not to discourage Mike Loxley. Like I just
Well, here's the thing I say. You've heard me say this many times. I never want to see anybody lose a job, and I hope things can work out for Mike Loxley.
Mhm.
I hope they can. He's in a rough situation. They've lost three straight. Two of those three, they shouldn't. All three of them, honestly, they shouldn't have lost. They should have beat UCLA. They should have beat Nebraska, and they should have beat Washington. And it was like I said on the show with Gary. They should be undefeated right now, getting ready to play Indiana,
I
and
mean,
that's
UCLA is
really unfortunate.
UCLA is a different beast after they fired the coach.
They 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 catch some of the worst breaks, Dante. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and to answer your question, if that happened, I hope it wouldn't, because I don't want to see Loxley losing the job. But if that happened, Maryland should put in their chips in the middle of the table and try to get them, because if Maryland can consistently win 8 wins in the Big Ten,
I'll say that's all you want here. That's all you need.
if they win 8, the alumni is happy. And also, it takes some of the pressure off James Franklin, because I know he's talking about he wants to win a national championship wherever he goes. But if he is at Maryland and he recruits this area extremely well, he does a great job. And I think it would be a good fit. Like I said, I hope Loxley is able to get through this,
See what happens.
and we don't have to see or talk about James Franklin. But James Franklin is a very good coach, and he's going to land on his feet wherever he may
Yeah,
be.
wherever he goes. I mean, with Maryland, like you said, if you can get Maryland to a place where you win 8 games each year, you won. If you can get them to 8 games each year, 8 wins each year, and then you get that blip where you get 10 every like 3, 4, or 2, 3. Yeah, yes, that's pretty good. I mean, like I said, I do understand what you're saying. Not trying to discredit, take away from a man's work. Just saying, I just wondered if that was like one of the possibilities. Hmm.
Well, we're going to find out. We'll see, and we'll go from there. Now, the last topic we'll talk about, the NBA opened up tonight. If I'm not mistaken, that gold hoodie of yours has some purple trim. Would it be Lakers?
Oh yeah, Lakers hoodie. I'm with it.
Well, the Lakers are tipping off tonight against Golden State. Uh, Oklahoma City is playing against Houston tonight. I
Yep.
think the Bullets, I said Bullets. I think the Wizards played Milwaukee tonight.
I gotta
So,
look that one up. I did not see who the Wizards played tonight,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
we getting basketball back. It's it's exciting. I'm looking forward to this season. You're gonna have it's be a different season. I mean, Father Time is closing in on LeBron. He's not starting. This is the first time in 23 years that we're not gonna see 23 out there to start the season. That is completely different. It's
Well,
gonna
he's
be
got, if I'm reading it right, he's got a sciatica injury.
Yeah, he says old man injury at this point. He got sciatica. Yes, that's
And
that's
I
what's
can tell you,
that's not a joke. I do know that much. I know that back
it's
hurt.
painful, man.
Oh
It's
yeah, I'm not
painful.
taking. Again, I'm not going to describe. I'm not going to take away from him, but yeah, it sounds like what happens when you build around a 40-year-old man. And you put more and more on his back. So we're going to see what the Lakers look like with Luka Doncic this year. I think that'll be. I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm all in on it. I have no problems with LeBron. Still love him, but you got to keep moving forward at a certain point. Hopefully they can win for LeBron. In all honesty, I don't want it to sound like I hate the man, but win for him. Do what you can. I just it's hard to build around a 4-year-old man. And honestly, I feel bad that he squandered. We're his second longest tenured franchise at this point, so I do feel bad that he like squandered his back end in LA and really couldn't win that much just because of either the way the team was set up or other things. So I do actually feel bad in that regard. It's great that he decided to play for the Lakers, but it didn't probably work as well as he hoped. Put it that way.
So, who are you picking for the NBA? Give me two teams.
Who would I pick for the NBA? OKC. Why not? Running back. On the East. See, the East is hard because I see a lot of like the professionals out here saying Cleveland. I just don't see that still. You can't build a team around two little guards. Doesn't work like that in my book. Lonzo Ball plays for them now, so maybe that helps out. But Lonzo's got like 1.5 knees. Is like he had a bad break with his. So I'm actually happy to see him playing again consistently. That's good. But I'd probably say in the East, and it's probably not going to work because last year was their best shot at it. New York.
We'll see.
I don't know if it works like
What
that.
do you think about a healthy Embiid? You think Philadelphia has a chance with a healthy Embiid?
What do I think about a healthy Embiid? I got to see that first. Ain't seen it in like 2 years. So yes, well, a year, it's some change. If he can be healthy, that's great. But put it like this: if he's healthy, it really lifts your ceiling. Paul George may be washed based on how he played last year. So basically, you're telling me that it's Maxey and Embiid, which is a pretty good 1-2 punch. And the rookie that they have is extremely athletic and probably makes you, if he could shoot, it may be something there. I just don't have much faith in it because I don't think, honestly, I think Embiid's body's cooked at this point. I don't think it's going to hold up. I think the worst decision they made is franchise letting him play in the Olympics like last year.
So maybe you and I get together and we go to a basketball game.
Do that one again. Yep.
You know, we can go when the Washington Wizards play the Boston Celtics.
Not this year. They suck. I mean, yeah. what's the point of watching the Celtics there?
Hey, they're going to surprise you, Dante. Celtics going to surprise you.
The Celtics are well coached, so you're right. You know what? They probably are like a middle tier team, but I mean, it ain't. It's gonna be a far cry from what it was last couple of years. It's kind of sad they ain't got Al Horford no more. I got used to seeing him there.
Oh, he's going to be a difference maker in Golden State, man. He's loving being there.
I bet he is. It's probably nah. I don't know, man. Boston seemed like the team seemed like it was the Boston seemed like a fun team, and they actually appreciate him there. They actually, from what I can see, they appreciated him, but. Again, I think this will be a fun season. I think we're at a point now where you have a couple teams that are standing head and shoulders above everybody else, but there are a lot of good teams, and it'll be interesting, especially in the East, because in the East you don't have Boston sitting there as the juggernaut right now. In Indiana, the flashy upstart, that's done for this year. So it will most likely be like a brand new team this year coming out of the East. So we'll see who it is. Again, like I said, maybe it's Cleveland, maybe it's New York. You never know. Maybe it's Orlando. Take us back to Disney World. Maybe I don't know. It's a lot of I just tell you who it won't be. It won't be the Wizards. But outside of that, there's a lot of possibilities in the East. No offense to the Wizards, they're just young.
I was reading Washington Post today. They ranked the top 30 teams, and you'll be happy to know that the Wizards were not 30.
Where were they? 29?
27.
Utah. Who was number 30? I don't even need to know everybody.
I can't even remember who number 30 is now. I can't even remember who it was. I forgot. They were 27.
Improvement. Gradual improvement. That's what that is. Got to give them credit for that. That means they got out of they out of the basement. I ain't gonna say they on the second floor, but they on the steps. There you go. It's trying right there.
You know who else is on the steps?
Who?
In another sport, they're going to get out the basement.
Baltimore?
Yep.
Well, at first they need to stop going up and down the steps and decide which direction they want to go. They were going up at first, and they decided they want to go down this year. So I mean, they stopped playing on the stairs. Maybe that would help them. You're right. Maybe they just need to pick a floor. But I'm seeing
Hey, man.
2 years where it worked out for you. Then they decided this year, why try? We're just gonna have fun this year. Go ahead.
Look, as always, man, it's been a lot of fun. Go ahead and take us home, Dante.
Oh, thank you for having me today. And it's always a pleasure to be on the Daily Deuce. And we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We want you all to go and enjoy some sports.
Hey, another great episode of Daily Deuce. I can't tell you how happy I am that Dante is here. I'll just say, like I always say, I'm happy as a pig in slop in Salisbury. I just love it. I just love it. I just love it. Watch some football. Watch some basketball. Watch some baseball. Watch some soccer. But above all else, just watch some sports and root for those Orioles. Take care. We'll see you again real soon.